This edition of MacVoices is sponsored by Smile, the makers of the brand new PDF Pen Scan Plus for iPhone and iPad, as well as PDF Pen, PDF Pen Pro, PDF Pen for iPhone, PDF Pen for iPad, Text Expander Touch, and Disc Label. Find out more about all their great products at smilesoftware.com. Hi, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices at New Media Expo in Las Vegas. I'm back again this year, and we're talking to Tony this time from Sucuri. I think I got the pronunciation right. Tony, it's great to see you.
Hey, good seeing you too.
How did I do?
You did well. It's Sucuri. It's a Portuguese for Amazonian anaconda, but Sucuri works just fine as well.
It's Portuguese for Amazonian anaconda?
Yeah. There's a nice story behind that.
Well, go for it. I'd love to hear it.
Well, the way our main founder is Portuguese, and his father is a general in the Brazilian army, and he has a long lineage of military. And so when he was trying to figure out the name for the company, he decided, he went to his grandfather, who was a colonel in the Brazilian army. And he was saying, I don't know what to call it. And his grandfather was like, well, we should come up with something strong, something that resembles what you're trying to do. You're fighting malware. And so we should go like a Sucuri. You know, and he's like, wow, yeah. So and then when you look it up, it's like an Amazonian anaconda. It's one of the largest in the world. And it can just attack huge pieces of meat and just destroy it. But anyways, and then it was also a name that was given to the tank destroyer for the Brazilian army. And so just the power behind the anaconda and the power behind the tank and the ability to destroy malware is kind of where we figured, oh, that's a really good fit for us. And it was a bit of a worry at first because it's such a weird name and people can't really pronunciate it and things like that. But over the past 3 years, we've been able to establish a brand around it, and everybody's like, I love Sucuri. And we're like, yes, we did it. We built the brand. So that was pretty interesting.
And it's a happy coincidence that it looks a little like security.
Yeah, and it wasn't even our intent. It wasn't until people come up and they're like, oh, it's just, yeah, you're doing a play on security. I'm like, well, no, but if it works for you and you want to sign up, then absolutely, it's about security. So, but yeah, it worked out well.
Yeah, well, I think that's why when I first took a shot at pronouncing it, I was doing Sucuri, so Americanized.
Yeah.
So speaking of a big piece of meat, there are times right now I feel like a big piece of meat because it seems like everybody is out there trolling, trying to get your information. A lot has changed, excuse me, since last year when we talked.
Absolutely.
So many breaches and everything. How are you all addressing this and helping me as a small business owner or a large business owner protect my customers?
Well, the threatscape is getting bigger and bigger every day. I mean, we just heard about Snapchat losing a couple million emails and passwords and the threats of that. And every website owner is afraid of that. And, you know, everybody's about building websites and doing e-commerce and generating income through their websites. And so the first thing that comes to mind when you see something on Mashable and TechCrunch, oh my God, Snapchat got hacked, they're a new startup. Is that going to happen to me? What are the impacts of that? The reality is that the threat is there. And what we try to educate everyone on is that it's not enough to just be scared of the threat. You recognize the threat and put yourself in a position to protect yourself. And so we recognized this about 16 months ago. So just after we had talked last year, and what we've done since is we've developed a new product that's more of a protective product, and it was designed to create a perimeter around your website. And what it does is it blocks all those malicious attacks coming in. So for instance, when you think of Snapchat, for instance, the way they were attacked, etc., a lot of those attacks will go through your website and trying to identify vulnerabilities in your website, out-of-date software, things like that, or they look for access. And in reality, there's two main pieces. There's access and there's software vulnerabilities that are usually the target. And so what we've done is our perimeter, we kind of encapsulate your site so that nothing can get through it except for the good traffic. And the reason for that was we wanted to get more into the protective side of the house. When we talked last year, we were very much about detection, more on the passive side. Like, hey, if something goes wrong, you let us know, we'll fix it. We wanted to change that. We wanted to move more into you will not get hacked. We will keep you safe. We will keep you secure. So that's kind of been our biggest change in the past 12 months to address concerns such as what you saw with Snapchat, what you see with LinkedIn, what you see with Facebook, things like that, to help protect the everyday website owner.
Okay, now you just said it, everyday website owner. So keeping in mind that a lot of our audience is not as geeky as you all,
Absolutely.
How do they implement what you offer them? What does it cost? And is it really for, the guy that has a small website that is looking just not to get hacked?
Our key was to make it as simple as easy to implement for your everyday website owner. That is the core of what we built here. And so, for instance, on the WAF component, on the application firewall, it's a simple A record switch in the DNS. Anybody that owns a website, unfortunately, you can't not make it to some level of geekiness. So when you create a domain on your registrar, whether it's GoDaddy or Namecheap or whatever the case may be, there's a DNS record that's created. There's one aspect that the user would have to go in and set an A record to point to one of our servers, and then we handle the rest. We try to take as much out of it as possible. It's a one-step process for your everyday website owner. And the beautiful part is that if a website owner is unable to do that, we will help them out. Just let us know, contact us, we'll set it up for them, and we'll do the configuration. It's a set it and forget it scenario. We do all the work while you're sleeping and making money. And in terms of what it costs, you're looking at $10 a month for the basic plans, and that provides you all coverage from denial of service to cross-site scripting attacks, local file inclusion attacks, things like that, all the everyday attacks today. It scales out from there. So we did it, it's not just every day, but we also have large organizations that use it that need high availability, redundancy, things like that. We provide that as well. But for everyday consumers, bloggers, basic e-commerce sites, the basic WAF implementation works just fine at $10 a month.
Okay, so the other thing too, we all are using now all kind of services to publish. Some of us are WordPress, Squarespace, a lot of different things. Do you provide security in all those situations, or are there some services you don't work with?
Absolutely. We are technology agnostic, and what I mean by that is we're really independent of the platform that you're leveraging. So whether you're using WordPress, vBulletin, Magento, OS Commerce, Squarespace, it really doesn't matter to us. And we intentionally built the product that way because we know how diverse the webscape is. And we needed to be able to address all of them. So as far as ASP sites to custom PHP sites to more established platforms like WordPress and Joomla, we're able to protect and service either one of them.
Great. So where do we send people to learn more about what you offer and how you can protect them?
Sucuri.net, SUCURI.net. You can also read a lot of our content at our blog.sucuri.net. And I highly encourage folks to go to the blog because we're always about pushing out as much content as we can for free and giving folks information.
Tony, it's great to see you. Thanks so much.
It was great seeing you too, bud.
Sucuri?
Sucuri.
Folks, Tony's going to teach me more Portuguese later. I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices at New Media Expo in Las Vegas. Thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for links, show notes, to subscribe, to connect with Chuck on Twitter, app.net, Google+, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Subscribe to our weekly newsletter, the MacVoices Dispatch, to stay up to date with all the latest MacVoices news from our front page or at macvoices.com/newsletter. Advertising and sponsorships handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com.